Good morning everybody, Kiwi John here again. Welcome to my channel. It's a beautiful Sunday morning here in the bay and we're out in a little place called Taradale. It's a suburb of Napier, a little bit further out, but I wanted to bring you out because it's a lovely part of Napier and there's a great shopping centre, and we're at the moment we're in the middle of a very small rose garden. And we have another sundial. And over here we have a lovely Soldiers Memorial clock tower. And the clock still chimes on the hour. We've got a lovely flagpole, and this is another area that they have memorials and things go on the 25th of April, which is Anzac Day, our Memorial Day to our fallen soldiers from various wars. So I just thought I'd bring you over, let you have a look. So this is actually quite nice. This shows you the soldiers that have actually returned, so that's all quite wonderful. The tribute there to the end of World War II. For those that fought and fell. And more of those Taradale soldiers that returned. So over this way is the start of the shopping centre, and we're going to head down there now. Okay, so we're just going to go for a bit of a walk through Taradale. Today we've got my lovely granddaughter Chicky with us again today.
Hi.
And we've got my darling wife with us today. She's come for a walk as well. So like I said, this is a nice part of Napier. It's relatively quiet. The shopping's quite easy down here, relatively easy to find parking. So if you're having a look, this is the main street of Taradale, and there is parking behind the buildings over to this direction, which you would get from down there around the back of these buildings. And there is also down that way on the corner is the public library, various shops. Now we've got another one of those, I don't know what you would call it, a courtesy zone, a courtesy crossing, but again it's not a pedestrian crossing. It doesn't have white lines. There's no legal obligation for people to stop, so don't take the risk of walking across and getting flattened. So we've got some pizzas, Snack Planet, Computer Warehouse. What have we got there? Jitterbug Dancewear, Health 2000. As you can see, it's quite a decent sized shopping area, and certainly if you lived in the Taradale area you would have no real need to head into the main part of Napier town, which is, I suppose it's about maybe 10 k's from here. Nice restaurant, Star of India. Bit surprising that there's a United Video shop. I didn't think people still had videos anymore, but across the other side of the road we've got an Anchor Walk, which is a really good chain of bakeries, so we might head over there for a coffee later on. There's a little Asian mart over there too. Londoner Restaurant and Bar. Kelly Brown's, Home Finishings, Manchester, all that sort of stuff. And we've got a nail salon and a vape shop. Barnaby's Cafe. Noodle Canteen across the road there. Another Indian restaurant, 123 Plus. Obviously ATMs if you need it. Kiwi Bank and Post Shop. Another ATM. They've got a bottle store. Breaker's Cafe. Across the road there we've got the Salvation Army family store. Westpac Bank with an ATM across the road there. Pharmacies. Century Bakery. And we've got another BNZ Bank with an ATM. So as you can see, it's only a relatively small shopping area, but it's fairly well covered. It's got a good selection of everything here. So if you need to come and do a bit of shopping, you've got everything you need. And of course, what self-respecting shopping complex wouldn't be complete without its McDonald's. So we even have one of those out here. Nothing like a Golden Arches to take the kids, keep everybody happy. And that's pretty much it for the actual Taradale complex itself. We're going to go out and show you some of the other things in the outlying areas and stuff very shortly, but yeah, it's a nice little area to come and shop, come and have a cup of coffee, and certainly if you're staying in a hotel this way, or you might be attending something at the Pettigrew Green Arena, which is way down that way, or who knows why you're here, but just for whatever reason, you've got everything you need right at your doorstep. So I'm here outside Angkor Wat Cafe in Taradale, Angkor Wat Kiwi Bakery and Cafe. So these guys have a pretty good selection of drinks and stuff, reasonable prices, ice creams, normal stuff for bakeries, nice savouries, nice sweets, sandwiches, rolls, cakes, you name it. Plus you've got your boards at the back with all your hot food and takeaway food. And of course all your lovely pies and sausage rolls and all of those things. And here we've got the lovely staff. And the boss here, Hanson. Hello, Hanson. How are you? Good, thank you. Nice to see you.
Yeah, nice to see you.
Nice day.
Nice day.
Yeah, everybody's smiling. Everybody's happy. That's good. Okay, we're going to get out of your way. All right, we're still out in Taradale, and we're a little bit further out of the main area. And I just wanted to show you this area. This is called Pettigrew Green Arena, and it's a sports and event centre here in Taradale. They also have a subway there, and they have a gym, and a lot of events go on here during the course of the year. So if you were coming to Napier to look for this place, so this is Taradale down this way, and we were down there before. So you're coming through Taradale and it's on your left hand side, and across here you can see, maybe you can see, it's a bit hard on the GoPro, but we'll have a look, see if I can zoom it in. Over there is Historic Maori Pa, and we're heading to that very shortly. And this here is all of this complex across here is the EIT, or Eastern Institute of Technology. So perhaps you may be a student looking to come to Napier to go to college, and this is the place. So there is a bus stop there, buses run into town and out to Hastings, and there's a bus stop on the other side of the road for coming and going, and you can only just see the sign, but right here is like a camping ground area, lodging area for students. So it's designated, so I would imagine through the campus you would organise some accommodation there. So I just wanted to give you a bit of a quick look, and we'll see you in Otatra. So we're here now at Historic Maori Pa. Now I've never been here before. In 57 years I've never been here before, so your guess is as good as mine as to what to expect. But this is a historic area, and it's a historic reserve, so it's quite an important part of our history. So I just wanted to let you have a bit of a look around. So this fence here would be like, I suppose, again, a modern version of a defensive fence. Obviously it wouldn't have wooden nails and nails going into the wood and all that sort of stuff, but this is a modern version of it. And a nice entranceway here with beautiful carvings. And haere mai, welcome. So we've got a 1 hour loop track, quarry and palisades, power, raised rim storage pits, house sites, and defensive banks and ditches, and all sorts of views. So it's quite cool too. So it shows you how the landscape's changed over the years after the 1931 earthquake, one was presumed. All this area here that is all ocean came up in the earthquake and then became the land on this one. So there we go. So we have a permanent built style here, make life a little bit easier for getting through, and doesn't allow for vehicle access, so walking only. And here we go up the hill, see you at the top. So this little stand of trees here is a native tree called a manuka, and it's quite distinctive. It very often has a lot of this moss on it, and you can see the leaves and things on here. Now when this is in blossom, the bees love it apparently, and this is where you get the world famous manuka honey from, and apparently it has all sorts of healing qualities and all that. I can't stand honey myself, but I know a lot of people that do, and that's what manuka trees look like. So we have a little, like a seed pod in there. Yeah, so anyway, just something for you to have a look at. And across here, now this is a flax bush. This is a very, very important part of Maori history. So this leaf can be split lengthways, and the ladies would make all sorts of things, baskets for cooking, sleeping mats, all sorts of stuff out of this. Clothing, of course, it can be broken down into fibres and made into clothing, all sorts of stuff. So you would always find this around the areas where the Pas were, and a lot of local Maori still do this to this day as part of their culture and part of their traditions. It's quite wonderful to see, and this is still prolific in New Zealand, so it's all over the place, which is wonderful. Okay, so Otatra, the guardian of all people who live in its shadow. So imagine arriving as a visitor in the early 1500s. From here you would have looked up this direction and seen many whare, or houses, on terraces dug into the hillside. Behind the defensive palisades you would have seen people working in gardens with their families. Others would have been out on the wider area fishing, hunting, or perhaps visiting other family. Located close to a network of rivers and resource-rich estuary with commanding views, Otatra and Hikarangi were prizes worth fighting for. Sometime around 1550, the Pa, at that time led by Chief, here we go again, Tuarapa, was besieged by Tarea of Ngāti Kahungunu. He eventually became Hikarangi Pa. He eventually overcame, I beg your pardon, he eventually overcame Hikarangi Pa, but unable to take the heavy fortified Otatra, made a truce. Both Pa were abandoned at this point and made tapu, which is forbidden, because of those who died in the fighting and were never reoccupied. But the conquest marked the beginning of Ngāti Kahungunu's dominance in the Hawke's Bay and Wairarapa areas. So it's quite amazing, quite fascinating to have a look at this. If you can just use your imagination in this whole hillside, where these flat spots are here, where these lines are, you know, there's perhaps gardens, there's houses, people living, people working. Quite amazing. It's a beautiful area. So this little area here, you can see there's quite a deep depression or a little basin. If you use your imagination a little bit, when the local people were living here, this would have had across here maybe houses and huts and gardens and all sorts of things. You know, I don't know where the chief would have his whare, but it would be here somewhere, I would imagine, in this part of the hill where it's well defended. And they would have had these fences going all the way around, right up around the top and right around there. So you can see where things have been cut away. These would have been areas for perhaps cooking or growing vegetables maybe. But it's absolutely beautiful up here, I love it. Okay, so this would signify the highest part of the Pa, I would imagine. This would be the last line of defense in a battle or a war. I'm absolutely blown away. This is just so beautiful up here. So this would be a modern version of the old defensive fence. So manuka or kanuka poles into the ground, nice and solid. So you've got the high ground. If you're the defender, you've got the high ground, and you've got all these. I wouldn't want to be somebody trying to attack this place, that's for sure. So we'll just go and have a nosy up here. Some beautiful carvings on the poles. So here we go, this is well constructed. So the sign says, and please forgive me if I don't get the pronunciation quite correct, I'm doing my best. So Tu Reo Wha, 6 generations of Otatra and Hikarangi Pa were founded. They were at their peak. Oh. Okay, let's start that again. 6 generations. 6 generations after Otatra and Hikarangi Pa were founded, they were at their peak and led by Chief Turafa. He governed the whole district from the ranges in the west to the eastern horizon across the sea. It was a resource-rich area, so it is likely that its people were content. Kumara, which is a sweet potato, grew on the north and east-facing hills on some of the islands within Te Whanganui Orotu, the Great Lake of Orotu, that drained away after the 1931 earthquake. The surrounding flats were a network of waterways and swamps which were rich in birdlife, eels and fish. In this direction you would have seen shallow lagoons and estuaries where the Tutaikori River flowed into the southern end of the Great Lake. This expansive waterway would have allowed easy travel around the district by waka or canoe. So here we go, let's have a look. So in this direction we have, down the bottom we have some orchards, and you can see by the big belt of trees there that surrounds the river, which we've just mentioned. So over this way, which straight out here, is Hastings, and following around now we've got Havelock North, and you can see way in the distance, I'll see if I can zoom it in for you a little bit, there is Te Mata Peak, which we will take you up in a few weeks time. And heading right across this way now, this is the southern end of the bay, which is Cape Kidnappers, and right across Awatoto we're looking at the back end of Taradale now, and way in the distance we are looking at Napier. You can see the line of trees which marks Napier's Marine Parade, and across to our Bluff Hill, and then right back around. This is 360 degrees. So I think this is amazing. I don't know why after all these years it's taken me such a long time to get here, but I'm glad that I came, and I'm glad I brought you with me. Okay, well, that's been an interesting sort of a day. Really good to go up to Otatra and have a look around the Pa and all that. That was really cool. So I'm going to call it quits on this video today. So don't forget to subscribe and click the little bell, because it's Sunday today, and on Wednesday the Art Deco Festival starts, and I will be hard out videotaping and trying to bring you as much information as I can over Art Deco weekend. So once again, thanks for viewing. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you next weekend. Bye.